So there's been quite a few just phrases that Donald Trump's been blamed for in the last few years. This video is just basically a clarification of all those to show you guys, hey, did he say it or did he not? So we're just going to take it back and we're going to see, step by step what he actually said. The first one we'll start with is very fine people at Charlottesville, Virginia, and people are saying that he was calling the neo Nazis very fine people.
You say the alt-right. Define alt-right to me. You define it. Go ahead.
Well, I'm saying,
no, define it for me. Come on, let's go. Define
Senator
it for
McCain defined them as the same group.
Okay, what about the alt-left that came charging at him? Excuse me. What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right? Do they have any semblance of guilt?
This is Senator McCain's statement.
Let me ask you this. What about the fact that they came charging with clubs in their hands, swinging clubs? Do they have any problem? I think they do. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was a horrible, horrible day. Wait a minute. I'm not finished. Fake news. That was a horrible day.
New controversy over some old remarks ahead of Thursday's first debate between Presidents Biden and Trump. The fact-checking site Snopes finally debunking Democrats' claims that then-President Trump in 2017 called neo-Nazis and white nationalists, quote, very fine people. This was after a deadly protest in Charlottesville, Virginia, over the removal of a Confederate statue. Snopes now labeling that claim false, writing, quote, in a news conference after the rally, Trump did say there were very fine people on both sides, referring to the protesters and the counter-protesters. He said in the same statement he wasn't talking about neo-Nazis and white nationalists, who he said should be condemned totally. Let's bring in News Nation media contributor.
I will tell you something. I watched those very closely, much more closely than you people watched it. And you have you had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. You had a group on the other side that came charging in without a permit, and they were very, very violent. Go ahead.
Do you think that what you call the alt-left is the same as neo-Nazis?
All of those people, excuse me, I've condemned neo-Nazis. I've condemned many different groups, but not all of those people were neo-Nazis, believe me. Not all of those people were white supremacists by any stretch. Those people were also there because they wanted to protest the taking down of a statue, Robert E. Lee.
As you see, he was condemning the neo-Nazis. He was condemning the alt-left. What he was saying is there were some peaceful people that were there just simply protesting the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. And he said those people were very fine and they were being peaceful and patriotic and didn't mean any harm. They weren't in this chaos, this big mass of people fighting. So he was referring to those people, not the neo-Nazi people, as we can tell from his phrasing.
I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his four-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
That was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
Called someone suckers and losers. That would not be good. And I was like, wow, did he really call them that when it happened? Because I've got a lot of family that's been in the military, and it's just, obviously not a good look. But then I started to think to myself, just common sense. Okay, he went all the way to France to see the memorial, got all the way there, and then didn't go. So did he really think they were suckers and losers? Why would he go all the way to France? Then the story actually comes out. There was a storm. He was informed not to go. He said it was. They said it was unsafe, and he agreed. Okay, so yeah, nobody's gonna get all the way there for their goal, and then just hey, nah, these guys are a bunch of suckers and losers. Let's turn around.
Trump canceled a visit to the Enmarn American Cemetery near Paris in 2018, he blamed rain for the last-minute decision, saying that the helicopter couldn't fly and that the Secret Service wouldn't drive him there. Neither claim was true. But according to an email sent by a military aide to the president, it was true. Team, we are a bad weather call for today's lift. And according to contemporaneous reporting by the Associated Press, the determination to ground Marine One, the president's helicopter, due to bad weather, is made by the Marine Corps and the White House Military Office, which then presents the recommendation to the White House in collaboration with the Secret Service, according to a Secret Service official. And at the time, Trump responded to all the criticism for not attending the ceremony by tweeting that the helicopter couldn't fly and he suggested driving. But the
would tell you something happened. I mean, he goes to France to see it, and then he doesn't see it. So yeah, something stopped him. Obviously, the weather, as you see, according to the uh, logs and emails and everything. So yeah, would you really get up there with a bunch of generals and military folks and oh no, suckers and losers? We're not doing this. Common sense, guys. I don't believe he said that, and I don't believe it ever came out of his mouth. And there's really no proof either.